So there's a new lawsuit that's also out into which Diddy is being accused again of sexual assault. So this one just came out, like I said, just yesterday. Let's blow this up just a little bit here. Okay, so this is a John Doe versus Sean Combs, and I'm kind of with lead attorney on this one. Like, enough of the John Does. And this is coming from the Bloom law firm, so this isn't like a Tony Busby thing. This is a different law firm, but it's like and this is the Southern District of New York. Enough of the John Does. Why can't y'all say y'all names at this point? The guy is behind bars. He's in jail. I understand, yes, you're in fear for your life of other people he could have employed and this, that, and that. His money is exhausted right now. There's only but so much hitman money he has. Okay? The hitman money that Diddy has at this point is going to his lawyers. You have nothing to worry about. You can say your name at this point. You are pretty much fine to sit at the barbecue without getting your head blown off. Say your name. I'm tired of y'all with these John and Jane Doe shits. It's making it difficult for us to say who was John Doe. I wonder who the Jane Doe. No, say your motherfucking name. D Woods done said her name. Okay. Everybody that said they got it, damn down to Cassie that said it. It's people that actually had shit that they stand to lose. Said they got in there. Say y'all motherfucking name. Y'all don't stand to lose nothing if y'all are McDonald's workers or drive-through workers. Y'all don't stand to lose nothing if y'all are bank tellers and all that shit. Y'all are fine, okay? Y'all are absolutely fine. So, says the preliminary statement here, the defendant Sean Combs, a prominent entertainment mogul, exploited his power to sexually, physically, and psychologically abuse plaintiff over more than 5 harrowing years. Combs caused plaintiff's life to spiral into a living nightmare. Plaintiff was at all relevant times a Las Vegas-based entertainer who aspired to become a musician, knowing that plaintiff desperately sought a breakthrough in the music industry. Combs enticed plaintiff with fraudulent promises of a career in the music industry. Combs used his false promises of career advancement as weapons, trapping plaintiff in a vortex of exploitation and fear. Combs did not follow through with these promises. Instead, Combs subjected plaintiff to a relentless pattern of drugging, sexual assaults, death threats. Clandestine is a new one. Clandestine recording, blackmail, and psychological manipulation that far exceeded any bounds of consent or professionalism. Combs dehumanized plaintiff and reduced him to a mere object for Combs' own amusement and to satisfy his own sexual fetishes. Combs gravely exploited plaintiff, effectively imprisoning him and controlling him through surreptitious surveillance and filming. Combs' recordings were not just blatant invasions of plaintiff's privacy, but he wielded them as tools of blackmail, forcing plaintiff to continuously comply with his perverse sexual demands. This sounds like any other lawsuit, of course. Pretty much where he uses his money and power to get what he wants, and you pretty much comply with it, of course. So John Doe is a resident of Las Vegas, Nevada, currently, and used to stay in California. So he's former California, and lives in Nevada now. So apparently, this particular, now here's the thing. So this is filed in the Southern District of New York. Now, this person lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, but was living in California. So keep all these key factors in mind here. We're taking all this with a grain of salt. Of course, we always believe the victims, but at the end of the day, these last few lawsuits have been sounding very, very shaky. I'm talking about quick, fast, shaky. They've been sounding very, very shaky to me. Okay, so let's get down to the factual allegations because this just pretty much introduces who Bad Boy is at this point. And we know that already. So the factual allegations. So Combs hired plaintiff to strip and dance in around 2007. So let's put the time for mine. So 2007. Okay, so let's see. I just want to put the time frame of mind. Let me see, 2007 songs. Okay, so this would be. Let me see. What songs did he have? I just want to see what period of time was what. Okay, so this is press play time. So this is press play Diddy. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so now that we have this better picture, I want to at least let's paint the picture of where we are. So this is press play Diddy. Okay, so this is I got records with Christina Aguilera and all that. I have these type of records out right now, right? So we have the we got the Tell Me record with Christina Aguilera, the one I played on the pod one time. We're doing records with Nas and CeeLo at this time. Okay, so we're fully into Diddy the musician, the party mogul. We're definitely in Diddy party mogul mode, okay? This is prime time Diddy party, 2007. Okay, so we're good now. Chill's at the first group. No, not the first group of Shine. Not the first group of Shine. It's something Harmony. It's something Harmony, but I'll remember who it is. I'll remember who it is eventually. I can remember who it is eventually. I have to think. I have to really think about it. Because like I said, I have their interview, and it's a bunch of them that have turned gay, pretty much, and they're talking about Diddy, and I'm like, I know these boys. I can't remember their name right now. But yeah, this is press play time for Diddy. So 2007, he was hired to dance for him. So plaintiff was recognized as one of the premier entertainers in the Las Vegas adult entertainment scene. Okay, so he's a porn star. Whoever this John Doe is a porn star. He's a Las Vegas porn star. Okay, so he's recognized as one of the premier entertainers in the Las Vegas adult entertainment scene. Let me see something. Okay, so 2007 Las Vegas entertainers. Okay, so there's an expo right here. I don't know if I want to click on that and then it shows me something I can't show on the pod. Yeah, I can't show that on the pod. Okay, I can't show that on the pod. So, all right, that I'll have to look up a different time. That I'll have to look up a different time. Okay, so he's in the adult entertainment industry. Plaintiff worked with multiple adult entertainment agencies and received his professional engagements through his agencies. Okay, so he's a sex worker that Diddy hired. As a popular and frequently sought out entertainer, plaintiff maintained high professionalism. Both plaintiff and the clients operated under Poseidon's Pseudonyms, excuse me, under pseudonyms such as plaintiff did not know the identity of the person he was meeting until he arrived at the engagement and met the client. Both plaintiff and his agencies clearly communicated his boundaries and limitations to the clients at the outset of at the outset of his engagements. In or around 2007, plaintiff was booked through one of his agencies to perform a strip show in a hotel room in Las Vegas in accordance with standard procedures. Plaintiff did not know who he was meeting until he arrived. On the occasion, the client was Combs. Plaintiff arrived. Combs conducted a full body pat down. Plaintiff commenced his performance, which consisted of dancing and stripping. When the performance concluded, Combs paid plaintiff $1,500. Now, you know what I'm also wondering too? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kim Correct. Is it Old Town? Is it Old Town? Let me see something real quick. Yeah, it is Old Town. Yes, Old Town. No, actually no. Now I'm looking at no. Huh. No. I'll look them up. I will look them up. I'll look them up. Let me not get thrown off on this. Let me not get thrown off on this. So I'm thinking now too, being at Las Vegas adult entertainer, one of the top ones, he hired him. He's a sex worker, paid $1,500 for him to be dancing and stripping. I'm wondering if this is okay. So this is starting to sound very factual because Jonathan Oddie. I'm thinking about Jonathan Oddie and Dancing Bears. So he hired Jonathan Oddie from the Dancing Bear Association. Remember that from the whatever website he got Jonathan Oddie off of. I'm thinking he got him and Cassie got this guy off that same website. So in the following months, Combs booked plaintiff for at least 2 additional engagements in Las Vegas through plaintiff's agencies. As was the standard procedure, the client's name was not revealed ahead of time, and plaintiff did not know he would be meeting Combs until he arrived at the hotel room. Each time, Combs was present in the room with a different woman. On these additional engagements, through plaintiff's agencies, Combs offered plaintiff beverages which plaintiff consumed. Combs also asked plaintiff to apply baby oil to plaintiff's skin during the performances, which plaintiff did. After applying the baby oil, plaintiff became unusually sleepy, disorientated, confused, exhausted, drowsy, weak, confused, sluggish, numb, and alarmed by the sensation of being trapped in his own body. Plaintiff felt a heavy sensation behind his eyes and felt that moving his body became more difficult and exhausting. This sounds like every other lawsuit, of course. So oil in the lubricant, thinning out that the baby oil is while they actually got sleepy, not necessarily something was laced in their drink. A lot of the other lawsuits, if you notice, they pretty much try to implicate it or make it look like they got something put in their drink. This person actually made it put it upon themselves to make sure they implicated the baby oil part in that, okay, that he oiled me up or made sure I had to oil myself up, and that was how I got drugged because I had to put the baby oil on myself. So while plaintiff was in the disorientated state, Combs instructed him to perform acts that were outside the scope of the agreed upon performance and limitations set by plaintiff and his agency. Combs instructed plaintiff to engage in acts such as masturbating while Combs and the woman engaged in sexual intercourse. Remember, this is press play time. This is press play time. So we're talking about, let me see. Cassie, what song was that? Was it Make a Move? Me and You was 2006. Press play 2007. So yes, this would be Cassie's era. So this lawsuit is Cassie's era. So this is the woman that's engaged in the sexual intercourse would be Cassie here. So plaintiff left in an incapacitated state after applying the baby oil to his skin, found himself mentally and physically unable to resist or express his discomfort, leading to his unwilling compliance with Combs' demands. Once the intoxicating effects of the substances have subsided, plaintiff felt a deep sense of humiliation and shame for being coerced into such acts. Combs recruited plaintiff to work for him directly by promising to launch plaintiff's music career. On or around the third time that Combs booked plaintiff through an agency, Combs asked plaintiff to stop working with his agencies and to work directly for Combs instead. Plaintiff responded that he was experiencing financial difficulties and could not afford to stop working for the agencies. Plaintiff explained that he earned his livelihood by working for his agencies as an adult entertainer, but that he hoped to become a musical artist. So he had aspirations of becoming a music artist while he was in the entertainment industry, adult entertainment industry, and now understand that as well, because in that they work hand in hand. They work hand in hand in the sense that if you think about the casting couch as one thing, okay, if you want to be joking about it, but in a literal sense, they work hand in hand as far as the acting is concerned. What I mean by that is videos having the sexual appeal, of course, because sex sells. So they work hand in hand to each other in that sense. They're very profitable as far as getting an adult entertainer that, of course, is not only appealing sexually, but he also has a musical sense. Okay, so those type of things definitely work hand in hand because the sex symbol already like this, the musician already has to be a sex symbol in selling themselves. If you have someone that already knows how to do that, you can just pretty much put the music or songs in that artist's hand. You don't necessarily have to make the music all day long. You can just put that music in their hands. Okay, so upon let me see. Yeah, upon learning that plaintiff was an aspiring musician, Combs offered to listen to plaintiff's music and expressed a willingness to help him advance his music career. Combs made statements such as, "I can make you a millionaire overnight, and I can change your life in a second." Combs specified that he would give plaintiff $1 million for each song plaintiff wrote for him. Plaintiff was excited for what felt like a tremendous opportunity, having direct connection to one of the most prominent and powerful figures in the music industry who was known. I may go back that far. Hold on. So I went too far now. Where we at? Okay, yeah, we change your life in seconds. Okay, and be known to have made an ordinary people into stars. Felt like an incredible stroke of luck and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for plaintiff to achieve his dreams. Plaintiff hoped to impress Combs and earned a chance to become successful in the music industry. Combs asked plaintiff for his phone number so that Combs could contact him directly. Plaintiff gave Combs his phone number. Combs fraudulently used plaintiff's musical aspirations along with intimidation and covert drugging to obtain plaintiff's compliance with Combs' sexual demands. See, this one sounds a lot more detailed. Right, music career like Brian Pumper, right? Exactly. Like, I mean, he already had the Lloyd Banks complex. He unfortunately already had the Lloyd Banks complex. So after plaintiff provided Combs with his contact information, Combs invited him to meet on numerous occasions, offering to listen to his music. Believing that Combs would review his work, plaintiff accepted these invitations and traveled to meet Combs in locations including Las Vegas, New York City, and LA and Miami. So all of his residence pretty much. Maintaining the appearance a professional interest, Combs purchased airline tickets and hotel accommodations for plaintiff through his record company, Bad Boy Records. After Combs began to arrange their meetings directly rather than through plaintiff's agencies, Combs' behavior shifted in the absence of an agency overseeing the transaction. So, pretty much once he got close to him, he said, "Okay, now I can take advantage of this guy." Uh, he's not really letting people know that he's even doing anything with me. He's not snitching, this and the third. Let me try him at least. So when plaintiff arrived to Combs' locations, which ranged from hotel rooms in various cities and to Combs' properties in various states, Combs regularly conducted a full-body pat-down and confiscated plaintiff's phone when he arrived. Combs regularly had a firearm present either on his person or visible in the room. Plaintiff, aware that Combs had been involved in shooting and violent altercations in the past, felt deeply fearful of doing anything that could upset or anger Combs. Combs reinforced his fraudulent display or professionalism interest by setting up mobile studios and frequently playing his upcoming music releases for hours and end, showcasing his prominence in the music industry to the plaintiff. So pretty much it was a pissing contest they pretty much had. So I have music that you want to hear. Oh, I've got music that you've already heard before. I've got music you want to hear. I've got music that I've already heard. Let's see who lasts. At nearly every gathering, Combs issued grandiose promises of career instances to plaintiff, boasting of his ability to make people millionaires and change lives. Notice I did that. Change lives overnight. Combs even suggested that plaintiff could become his manager and help them run Bad Boy Entertainment. At Combs' request, plaintiff bought recordings of his music for Combs to listen to. However, each time Combs quickly shifted the conversation away from plaintiff's music and directed plaintiff to perform a strip show. Now, notice how they actually do that. So, as so notice what it says. So Combs quickly shifted the conversation away from plaintiff's music, right? Pretty much he knew already that he was going to, he knew that he wasn't going to ever do anything with his music. He pretty much was just trying to, again, sell him the hope and dream of having that. But really, I just want you to service me right now. I don't necessarily care about your hopes and dreams as much as I care about being serviced right now. Okay, so during the strip shows, there was usually a woman present with Combs. On some occasions, other men and women were also present. Now, see how detailed this also is again, because this is the same thing that Cassie represented. Cassie mentioned, as well as Little Rod has mentioned. On parts, they all have mentioned this. The same exact allegations of having the freak offs, if you will, and how they're actually described to have. Sometimes it's men, sometimes it's women. Most of the time there's a woman there. Of course, his girlfriend is always there, but majority of the time it's the girlfriend and another person. It's never just a situation where it's just him and the other sex worker. So Combs typically required plaintiffs to get undressed and leave his clothes in another room. Combs then barricaded the participants inside the room where the strip show would take place by placing furniture and other objects in front of the door. Being physically confined in a room without his phone, clothes, or other belongings along with Combs, firearms serving as a visual reminder as he was armed, made plaintiff feel trapped, fearful as it though he were not free to leave. So pretty much Combs was the one that had the gun, not putting it to the face, but he would let it out, letting people know that he had it and you didn't have anything at all. So another bit of flex of power again. Combs offered plaintiff beverages, which plaintiff sometimes consumed. Combs routinely asked plaintiff to apply baby oil to plaintiff's skin during the strip show. Following the application of the baby oil, plaintiff became drowsy, lethargic, weak, and numb, although plaintiff did not connect these effects with the baby oil until years later. So Combs frequently pushed plaintiff to apply more baby oil, saying things like you're getting a little dull. Rub some more baby oil on yourself. If plaintiff refused to apply the baby oil, Combs became irate. On multiple occasions, Combs squirted large amounts of baby oil in plaintiff's skin. coating his skin so heavily that it dripped off of his body. Each time that the plaintiff applied the baby oil, he was overcome with the same drowsy, extremely tired sensation. Plaintiff felt his eyes become heavy, and when he looked in the mirror, his eyes appeared droopy. The overwhelming drowsiness caused him to fall asleep over unknown periods of time. Often, he lay down on the couch, alternating between sleeping and waking. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the drug was pretty much an enhancer. The drug is pretty much an enhancer, but it was working backwards in a sense and making him very sleepy and weak. So after applying the baby oil, plaintiff became uncoordinated and confused. Plaintiff stumbled over furniture and objects and got lost when trying to find his way to and from the bathroom, and even once fell asleep in the bathroom. On one occasion, I don't mean to laugh, but on one occasion, Combs asked plaintiff to record sexual activity with the camera. I'm laughing because that's probably the safest place he could actually be, is just staying in the bathroom and locking the goddamn door and trying to. You can't call police, just try to escape out the window or something. Just be out. Combs asked plaintiff record sexual activity with the camera, but plaintiff was unable to unable to hold the camera straight without swaying his arm. When plaintiff was in this drowsy and confused state, Combs directed plaintiff to masturbate and to engage in sexual contact with the woman present, which included touching the woman's breast and engaging in sexual intercourse with her. On some of these occasions, Combs placed his hand on plaintiff's penis, oh boy, and stroked plaintiff's penis, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go, touching another boy. Oh boy. Plaintiff tried to communicate at the outset of the meetings that his performances were limited to stripping and dancing, and that he was not willing to engage in sexual activity. Yet, plaintiff refused the beverages that Combs offered or hesitated to apply baby oil to his skin, Combs became enraged and screaming at plaintiff, throwing objects and clenching his fists as if about to strike plaintiff. On several occasions, plaintiff found his penis involuntarily erect even though he was not actually aroused. On these occasions, plaintiff noticed that his heart was beating quickly and he felt faint. Of course, that's from all the 2Cs taken. Plaintiff commented on what he was feeling, and Combs stated that he had he had to put Viagra in plaintiff's drink. Oh my goodness. To make plaintiff able to sexually perform, Combs produced a bag of light blue pills and showed them to plaintiff. Wrong move there. Wrong move there. So you showed him the dolphins. The pills, basically. So Combs also forced plaintiff to consume unknown substances when plaintiff was sitting or lying down and experiencing the aforementioned effects. After applying the baby oil, Combs frequently placed a pill in plaintiff's mouth and watched him to ensure he had swallowed it. That's crazy. Combs asked plaintiff to open his mouth and lift his tongue to ensure he had not hidden the pill. After ingesting the pills, the physical and physiological effects that plaintiff was experiencing intensified such the plaintiff could not fully control his body. Particularly, plaintiff's sense of tiredness, confusion, and lack of coordination was compounded with a heightened sense of mellowness, calm, numbness, and indifference. During most encounters, Combs demanded that plaintiff engage in sexual activity with the woman who was present. This included touching her breasts, vagina, and buttocks and engaging in vaginal intercourse. Combs often positioned his face directly between plaintiff's and the woman's genitals to closely monitor and ensure they were engaging in penetration. Nasty ass thing. Often Combs demanded that the plaintiff ejaculate on the woman's body or in her mouth, causing plaintiff to feel deeply humiliated and degraded. So pretty much he was acting like a cuck, and he wanted to be treated like one too, is what it sounds like. He really wanted to be treated like a cuck, and that was his fantasy. So on one of those occasions, plaintiff observed that Combs rubbed plaintiff's semen on the woman's body and then licked plaintiff's semen with his Ugh. Ugh. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's nasty. I'm not even gonna repeat that one. Oh, that's nasty. Diddy, you nasty nigga, you nasty nigga, you. Occasionally, plaintiff and the woman expressed hesitation or appeared visibly uncomfortable with Combs' demands. Oh my goodness, I bet I understand. At any sign of hesitation or defiance, Combs became enraged. Combs screamed and cursed through objects at plaintiff, toppled furniture, and swung his fists at plaintiff as though to hit plaintiff. On several occasions when plaintiff did not comply with Combs' demands, immediately Combs forcibly grabbed plaintiff by the shaft or of his penis, causing him physical pain and forcing, that's rough, and forced plaintiff's penis into the woman's vagina. On some occasions, Combs touched and stroked plaintiff's penis. Nasty. Plaintiff's encounters with Combs lasted for extended periods of time, sometimes more than 18 hours at a time. Woo, that's some crazy ass amount of time. Despite plaintiff informing Combs that he charged a set hourly rate for his stripping engagements, Combs consistently underpaid plaintiff each time Combs invited plaintiff to meet under the guise of listening to his music. He instead required plaintiff to strip and engage in the sexual acts, subsequently paying plaintiff a sum of money that was substantially less than plaintiff's rate. Plaintiff often attempted to set time limits of the meetings and discuss payment, but Combs disregarded these conversations and made comments such as, "Aren't we friends now?" On more than one occasion after awakening, plaintiff discovered that the semen was seeping out of his anus. What the fuck? The plaintiff believed that Combs had raped him, Combs was the only other male present in those occasions. On these occasions, Combs paid plaintiff a substantially larger sum of money. Prior to each occasion that plaintiff met Combs, plaintiff believed that he would be able to resist any sexual advances or requests that would arise. But each time after applying baby oil to his body, plaintiff found himself unable to summon the mental acuity or physical strength to resist Combs' demands. It was not until years later that plaintiff made the connection that Combs used baby oil to mentally and physically impair him, with the intention that plaintiffs submit to Combs' sexual demands. Yo, this is the nastiest nigga alive. The nastiest nigga alive. Combs recorded plaintiff engaging in sexual acts and threatened plaintiff as a means to exercise control of plaintiff. On one occasion, soon after Combs began arranging their meetings directly, plaintiff discovered a hidden camera in the room and became visibly agitated and distressed at the prospect of being recorded. Combs confirmed that he had previously recorded plaintiff engaging in sexual activity, that he maintained the videotapes, and that he would release the video and ruin plaintiff's reputation if the plaintiff did not comply with his demands. Combs made statements such as, "I can change your life in a second and make you a millionaire overnight, but I have means and ways of taking care of things." Plaintiff understood Combs' threats to mean that if plaintiff angered or defied Combs, would not only withdraw his promised support of plaintiff's music career, but he would blackmail plaintiff with the sexually graphic videotapes. Let me move this over here because, real quick, so I definitely want to be able to. Let me have it right here. All right, let me do that. There we go. So I definitely wanted to be able to see the chat. I couldn't see the chat while I was doing that. Straight from DC. What's going on? What's going on? All right, now we can see. Now I can see the chat. Now I can see the chat. Okay, so plaintiff understood Combs' threats to mean that if plaintiff angered or defied Combs, Combs would not only withdraw his promised support of plaintiff's music career, but he would blackmail plaintiff with these sexually graphic videotapes. Over the next several years, Combs and members of his team regularly reached out to plaintiff to set meetings. Sometimes days or weeks elapsed between meetings, while sometimes weeks or months would pass. Often Combs' requests to meet plaintiff coincided with Combs' appearance at major events such as performances, presentations, and award shows. He was stalking the man. Damn. If plaintiff, that's almost like what he did with Justin Bieber. You been trying to get in contact with my managers and everything like that, but you don't get in contact with me. If plaintiff ever declined to meet Combs, Combs then reached out to plaintiff directly, threatening him, making statements such as, "I can make you disappear and things aren't going to get better for you," and the threatening to release the videotapes of plaintiff, deeply afraid and believing that Combs would follow through on his threats. Plaintiff submitted to Combs' demands. In addition to hiring plaintiff to perform for him, Combs also insisted that plaintiff send Combs sexually explicit photos of plaintiff's penis. Afraid of the potential consequences of refusing, plaintiff complied. In or around 2010 now, after years of Combs instilling fear in plaintiff, Combs had no intention of supporting plaintiff's career. At this point, plaintiff realized he needed to find a way to escape Combs' manipulation and abuse. During the next 2 years, plaintiff made repeated attempts to distance himself from Combs. Each time they spoke on the phone, plaintiff experienced intense anxiety with his heart racing, yet Combs refused to accept no for an answer. Combs used threats to exert control, warning plaintiff, "You're not loyal. Who are you going to tell about all of this? Who are you going to tell about this? Who are you going to tell about this? Nobody. Don't forget, I have tapes of you." Plaintiff found himself trapped in an abusive cycle from which he felt he could not escape. Plaintiff's last encounter with Combs was in or around November 2012, close to the time that plaintiff got married. Plaintiff hoped that his marriage could serve as a boundary that Combs would respect, yet Combs continued to call persistently for months, pressuring plaintiff to return. Since his last encounter with Combs, plaintiff has experienced a strong and unrelenting desire to come forward about Combs' also abuse, but was deterred by fears that Combs would follow through with his threats to release the compromising videos of plaintiff and irreparably harm plaintiff's reputation. Worse, plaintiff feared that Combs and his agents or company's representatives could take steps to seriously harm plaintiff and his family, as Combs had repeatedly emphasized he was capable of willing to do. He told Little Rod that he kills his own mother or doesn't care if his mother dies. November 16, 2023, Cassie files the lawsuit against Combs. As more and more individuals filed a lawsuit, plaintiff gathered the courage, of course, to also do the same thing. October 3rd, an individual representing Combs reached out to plaintiff and insisted on personal sake. So now they're just going to read the different people here that reached out to him. Then, of course, you have the damages. During the times that plaintiff interacted with Combs, he experienced reoccurring and severe health issues, of course, particularly bouts of pneumonia that often arose shortly after these encounters. Now, see, the main thing that you have to underline here and highlight is this part right here, number 67. Okay, reason why is because it says during this time he experienced reoccurring severe health issues, particularly bouts of pneumonia that often arose shortly after these encounters. Now, who else died of pneumonia? I'm just saying. If we're talking about the same time frame that somebody was using, that same lubricant inside, the same GHB laced baby oil, I think we definitely found how someone caught that pneumonia, didn't we? I'm just saying. Plaintiff frequently coughed up blood following these incidents, and on one occasion, a near fatal bout of pneumonia required emergency hospitalization due to excessive bleeding into plaintiff's lungs, which led to respiratory failure. Plaintiff believes that these health issues were a result of being continuously drugged by Combs. Since ending contact with Combs, plaintiff has had no further episodes of pneumonia or coughing up blood. Since his traumatic experiences with Combs, plaintiff has been in a constant state of survival mode, tormented by the fear that Combs will follow through of his threats to harm him or release compromising videos. This dread, coupled with severe emotional and psychological trauma, has left plaintiff plagued by paranoia and haunted by painful memories he had tried to suppress, which brings overwhelming feeling of shame and embarrassment. This is similar to Q from Day 26. That's very similar to Q from Day 26. If you definitely want to know what that looks like or feels like, you ask or listen to that gentleman there, and a couple other people. It's not a game. It's definitely not a game. So when things are just an overwhelming feeling of shame and embarrassment, that depression kicks in. That depression just definitely goes a long way there. So now we read the factual allegations and everything, the damages, of course. So you have the first cause of action here, and that's all this really is here. That's all this really is here. At the end of the day, it is just a huge allegation. It is nothing that is it's nothing that's sticking for the most part. Nothing at all that is sticking for the most part. And I don't know if there's anything that is in here that, besides it being very detailed and thorough out, someone really, what the law firm that wrote this was genius. I'll say that. There were no crazy typos or anything like that, like the other lawsuits that looked like they were rushed and just thrown together by any old body. This one was very detailed and thorough, and you can put yourself in the different time frames that Diddy was in, of course, between 2007 and 2012, which era of the girlfriend we were actually in. All of these things line up with what Jonathan Oddie has said, Little Rod Jones has said, Cassie has said. So many other people have mentioned these same exact details word for word, and even describing the night that Cassie pretty much sounded like she was even involved in the nights that she was involved in. It sounded like this is the POV perspective of that sex worker that went missing recently also. So let's go with